All right, welcome. Happy Chinese New Year. This is my live of 9 tips for revamping your look, organizing your closet, and makeup and handbag for 2024. So I am ready to go and start telling you all about what things that you really want to improve and change in your wardrobe for 2024. So I'm going to just give you a little quick story about why I'm doing this today, why I picked the number 9, and at the end, if you want the tip sheet, I will definitely DM this to you. So you can either take notes or you can wait till the end and I will send you a tip sheet. So my name is Christine Beauvais and I'm a style expert, a feng shui expert, a teacher of personal style, and I'm here to talk about ways to improve your wardrobe planning for 2024. But I'm doing it on a special day. If you don't already know, today is the Chinese Lunar New Year. So what does that mean? Well, in feng shui, I used to teach my clients all about the new year, the energy of which is this year is the dragon. Last year was the rabbit, and that was me. And well, I can tell you being the center of attention isn't always the best. It was a little challenging year, but I'm looking forward to a little calmer energy. But if you are related to all of those elements of the energies and the stars, every Chinese New Year, there begins a 2-week celebration. And so the celebration is all about bringing in the new year. And I would gather friends and we do some traditional rituals that the feng shui energy of your home, the energy of your clothes, the things that you do on an everyday basis. So it was really, really fun. But I want to elevate it to who I am today and the work that I'm doing with my clients. And so number 9 is the most auspicious, highest vibrational energy number. So that's a good luck number. And this number is really powerful. So 9 tips, $9, $88. When you do things in 9s or dividends in 9s, like discard 3 items for 9 days, that is a very high vibrational energy. And if you discard 3 items for 9 days, that would be 27 items. So how amazing is that to feel refreshed knowing that if you did something each day and it was just in small increments, it could add up to a bigger number. But you're doing it on an energetic number that is very auspicious and good luck. So we're going to take this idea of 9 tips to think about this spring. Even though it's February 10th, spring is a month away, and depending on the climate you're in, your spring may be very much a roller coaster of weather, right? It could probably be maybe 70 degrees one day and all of a sudden it's back to 30 degrees. And we go up and down, and it can be most frustrating is what to wear. So let's think differently about how we want to dress for the spring. What is the mindset that you want to create this spring? What things do you want to generate? If you want to drop a couple of your insights right in the comments below, then just ask questions or comment there and I'll be glad to answer them as we go along. So the first one we're going to talk about is dress your intentions based on what are your spring planning for your business, for your career. Are you stepping out to be more visible on stages? Are you going to be speaking in larger environments that you've never spoken before? So maybe you're on stages where there's 50 or 60 or 70 plus people. Maybe you're doing more smaller groups. Maybe you're doing it for a luncheon, or maybe you're doing it for small gatherings as a happy hour. What is the energy of these environments that you are going to? How do you want to feel as the speaker in these environments? What is your wardrobe energetically have to feel so you can feel confident and feel like the most important thing is your words, what you're teaching. And then the second thing is you look amazing doing this talk. Your wardrobe is helping you feel confident. It is complementing your body. And people are looking at you and they're hearing your beautiful words while staring at you, knowing that this energy that you're portraying is radiant and beautiful. And so it's so important to really think about what are the things that I can do to start planning my wardrobe, not a week before my event, not 2 weeks before my event, but as probably I'd say 30 to 60 to 90 days is even better. Why? Because one of the things right now is that the stores are full of spring clothes. Fresh inventory, which we hope is full, and more variety of sizes are there. And what you want to do is start shopping now because you have a variety of clothes to pick from, because you know what? Not a lot of people want to shop right now, especially if you're in colder areas. They're not feeling as inspired. They're not feeling out there to shop because it's not warm. So you're getting ahead of the game. The stores are calm. The stores are easy. Like there's salespeople available for you. And you want to think about what is the energy that you want to bring to that stage. I don't care if you're only talking to 10 people in a small presentation. What is the energy of your clothes? What is the intention you want to feel? Sometimes we want to feel more playful. Sometimes we want to feel more powerful. I just did a podcast yesterday, and we were talking about why the guest, Angela, was telling me that when she goes on stages, she wants to wear a leopard print jacket, a white blouse, black pants, and high knee boots. And she says, I don't know what it is. She goes, I don't wear that on an everyday basis, but when I go on that stage, she goes, that's the look. And I said, exactly. The energy of those clothes, the energy of that look, the animal print from a feng shui perspective is very fiery. So it gives that recognition, that energizer. The black leather pants, again, it's another material consistent of what we call fire element, but it energizes us. It makes us feel powerful. And as she told me that story, she said, I don't know why I usually do this. She goes, but what I realize is it just feels right. And I said, when you're in front of 70, 80, 100 people, you need to have a very dominating energy. Your confidence needs to be strong so that all of those people, because they all have energy. And when you walk into a room, if you're a very intuitive person, if you're a very sensitive person, you've got to be in control if you're the speaker, and you've got to emanate your energy out in the highest level, because you don't want to be taking in their energy, because you will be all over the place. There's a whole mess of energy out there. You want to be able to take in your energy and be able to be a good channeler, so you're in the zone and you are able to present yourself and the words and the wisdom to the audience so they can hear you. And when you're getting dressed, you want to think about, what are the clothes that bring me into that zone? What is the energy that brings me into that feeling, that zone? Everybody's different. Some people, it's going to be a dress. Some people, it's going to be pants. Some people, it's going to be a pair of shoes. Some people, it's going to be a bracelet. Maybe it's glasses, but it's different for everybody. And so as you look at your spring calendar, and let's pretend that you have 3 events coming up. And those 3 events are really big events for you, your career, your business. And you're thinking right now, is it a little too early for me to start planning that wardrobe? Nope. We want to get images. We want to get ideas. We want to know what the room looks like. We want to know if that room is brightly lit. We want to know if the scenery behind you is all black. Because if you've got a big black curtain behind you, You want to wear clothes that don't fade into that big black curtain. You want to feel clothes that make you stand out and people can see you. So we want to be really thinking about, what is it for these 3 occasions, and we're just going to just go with this cute number 3, do I have to be? 1, you might be able to be more playful because it's a garden event and it's like a tea garden conversational women's event. And maybe the other one's on stage, and maybe the other one's just on camera. And even on camera, there is a presence. So think about the environment that you want to be in, and then start thinking about, what is it that makes me feel the most powerful in that type of environment? So number 2, again, if you do have any questions, just drop them in the comments below, and as I go on, I will answer any questions that you have. Number 2, who are your style icons? Who do you admire? Do you have a mentor? Do you have a teacher? Do you have a certain celebrity that you follow? And you love their style. You love the way they look. You love the way they dress. Notice how they dress for certain events, especially celebrities. Notice how they dress for a red carpet event, for an interview about a movie they're doing. But also notice that if they are a celebrity, when they're in acting roles, they create a character and then they dress that character. So if you think about the show Big Bang Theory, those characters each had very unique styles. And if you go behind the scenes, you would go into their dressing rooms and where the costume designers are, and you would see for each character all these types of clothes. And you know what? It was in an interview with, I can't remember, and one of the actresses said, it really makes a difference when we have the right clothes on for our character. So think about that. The actress was saying, even as an actress, their clothes matter to how they portray that scene, that movie. And so when the clothes don't fit right, they don't feel right. So the same thing for you. So look at your style icons. Go into Pinterest, go into Instagram, because they both have tools, if you don't know, in Instagram where you could save the pictures or images that you like, but you can put them in folders. And then that way you're going to look at them and you're going to say, okay, what is it that I am liking about Victoria Beckham? Number 1, number 2, she does this, she does this, she does that. What do I like about Lacey Chabert? In this movie, she dressed this way. What was it that you liked about it? Because that's going to tell you what you're resonating with. That's going to tell you with what you like. So it helps you start to get an idea of what you're looking for. Now, energetically, when you put your thoughts onto the things that you like, what happens? You begin to attract more of that. So if you're focused on, I love those red shoes she's wearing, I love that blazer that she's wearing, I love the hairstyle she's doing, guess what? Energetically, more of your attention on the things you love gets you aligned with that. Now, it might be a price point that doesn't work for you, but you can say to yourself, that's okay. We live in a time where stores are recreating the similar things at higher price points, that style at a lower price point. So, when you're spending the time focused on the things that you love, energetically, leave out the price point, just love the jacket, love the shoes, love the makeup. You will then find those things and be able to purchase them at a price point that works for you. Okay? So I hope you're seeing how we're understanding energy mindset, which is what we're going to talk about right now, how important it is that planning ahead will start getting you prepared in a more calm, in a more fun way. So, number 3, mindset shifts. Mindset shifts are so important. Why? Because we often do one popular thing, and I know I do it myself. How much is it? How much is it? I can't afford that. No worries, just as I said. We leave the money behind. We'll get to the money piece in about 5 more tips. But what we're going to do is we're going to just talk about my mindset is I am worthy and deserving of looking good. My mindset is loving my body where it is. Not I'm going to lose 10 pounds, so I can't do anything until I lose the 10 pounds. Because I know myself and many other stylists hit this wall with so many of our clients with the whole thing of I'm going to lose weight. If you don't have a structured plan, if you don't have an actionable item that's in the works right now, holding yourself back on your weight isn't going to do you good. But what you can do is love the body where you are now and buy pieces in smaller amounts but have more flexibility. So let's take pants for example. Now more than ever are more comfortable pants because women are becoming very frustrated with how pants feel. And the biggest problem isn't so much the cut, well, let me back up. The problem is that everybody has a different body type and weight falls differently for everyone else. So sometimes if you're becoming at the point where you have weight gain in your belly, okay, we're back. Don't know what happened. Okay, sorry, we're having a little Wi-Fi issues. Let's hope it's done. So the weight gain in our belly can be very frustrating, but for some people, it happens where it's either maybe too much in our thighs or in our hips or in the midsection, or sometimes it's in our arms, but then we're smaller here. And the challenging part is finding pieces that as you're losing weight, that you don't have to literally buy a new piece. So a lot of brands are coming out with pull-on pants, which is the best thing. And they're style and they're fashionable and they're comfortable, extremely much more comfortable, because they're aware that women are feeling frustrated about clothes that are uncomfortable because they're not cut the right way. They're not cut the right way in flattering our bodies. And one of the things that you want to think about is if you have the right pair of pants on and they are a pull-on pant, what happens is as you lose weight, and if you're losing 5 pounds or 6 or 7 pounds, you don't have to buy a full new pair of pants. It's just going to, adjust to your waist. But this makes it a lot easier to not feel like I have to worry about a new wardrobe, just in case you fluctuate a little bit. Sometimes people are building up muscle or the way they're sculpting their body. That can also change, because I know that will happen to me as I sculpt and tone my legs. Sometimes just the way my body shape is, that will change the way the pants fit. So what I'm loving more and more that brands are doing is the pull-on pant, which is much more comfortable and much more appealing when styled rightly. So these are things that can really work if you think with a plan strategically. I know I'm in the process of losing weight, or I know that I want to lose weight, but you got to love the body you have now exactly where it is. And a lot of piece or a component of dressing well and creating new look is all about learning to change the mindset of who we are and having a different conversation about how we feel about our body and our body type. It is not easy. It is very hard. And we live in a time of social media where there's a lot of comparison and a lot of illusions of beauty that is portrayed through maybe filters, excessive makeup to look a certain way that really can reshape somebody's face, clothes that can look good, that somebody can come on to camera, put on an outfit, and that's all they're doing. They're putting on that outfit, and then they walk off, and they can either take that outfit out and go return it back to the store and never wear it again. So they don't give you details that it wasn't comfortable, it didn't wash well, they just presented themselves. But the second part is that might not even be your body type. You might love the outfit that she just put on, but you're like, hey, that doesn't even honor my body type. It's a great look. So lots of things that we have to change is to say, I'm inspired by someone, that's a great look. I'm going to dress my body to complement my style because I've got an amazing body. Now, it's hard to say something like an amazing body or I love myself, but it's learning how to change the language. So gentle things, we're just saying, you know what? I am where I am. My body, it's working. I'm up, I'm moving, I'm getting out there. That may sound like it's too general, but sometimes you have to be very general in order to get to a bigger result. Okay, let's keep going. Again, if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments below. So, choosing a color theme. So number 4, choosing a color theme. Now for some people, they feel like spring, they want to go out there, and I've always heard this, like people want those spring colors. They want something that's more vibrant. They want something that feels more energizing. Because if you think about spring, I'm just going to take you back for a moment to what we talk about in Feng Shui, is that spring is a time of growth. Spring, if you ever look at it, like the plants are coming up, everything is growing. So we always say that the energy of wood is to get things moving. So spring feels like, let's start again, let's get things moving because the plants are coming out. Everything's energetically flourishing, the flowers are blooming. So we feel that energy. So we want our clothes to feel that same way too. So you may pick a more pastel theme for some people. Often people say to me, well, I had my colors done 10 years ago and I couldn't touch those colors. But here's the thing, 10 years ago, you probably had different hair color. Your body was very different. Your skin and texture was very different. So what was 10 years ago, we need to refresh. And so the best thing I always say is just go to the store and try on some new colors. Because even though you can look at swatches and you can go through these whole things, there's a difference between trying something on and the texture of it and how the color can radiate you, as opposed to things that are just shown on one material. So go into the stores, challenge yourself a little bit. Get that teal blazer, get that pink blazer. Pair up some black with some white, or maybe some black, white, and red. If you're all in one monotone and that's maybe your thing, no problem. But throw in some accessories with colors. Think about a theme that you want to really try out. Or maybe you just keep your whole wardrobe the same, and you go, hey, I'm just going to spend new shoes this year. New shoes. I want red shoes. I want purple shoes. There's tons of shoes out there. Tons of colors, especially in the spring, especially in the summer. The colors are radiant and gorgeous. So have fun with it. Think about it. What could be a color that could be my theme? What could be a color that could feel like it's energizing or motivating me? Or every time I put on those purple shoes, I just feel amazing. Because if you put on purple shoes, I make a bet that all day long, people are going to come to you and compliment you. Why? Because let me tell you something. I've been to a couple of networking events lately. And pretty much it's winter here. And pretty much the colors that people are wearing are very dull. So you go in and it's very dull. So what happens? The person who's wearing a hot pink sweater who sat next to me the other day stood out. Why? Because she had a hot pink sweater on, and that caught my eye in a sea of just dull colors. Who's wearing the red shoes? Your attention's going to go there. Why? Because mostly everybody else is wearing dull, muted colors. Guess what? They're going to talk to you, they're going to notice you, and they're going to recognize you, and they're going to remember you. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about your handbag collection. Now, one of the reasons why I really want to talk about this is that when you are planning your spring events, you're speaking, maybe you're traveling, okay? Everyone's going away. There's lots of spring breaks going on. Maybe you're traveling for conferences. Maybe you're going to retreats. What type of handbags do you need? You know, when you're getting on the plane, you really want to carry that tote so you have that extra bag. But even in there, you want to have maybe a crossbody or your other bag because it's so much easier to have things organized. You got plane tickets, your wallet, you know, you want to have your whatever you're carrying with you. And for me, I know when it comes to buying a bag, I'm concerned when I'm traveling that I don't want those open bags. I want a zippered bag. I want a nice tote bag with enough room, but I want it to zipper because if I put it down, I just don't want anyone to put their hand in and grab whatever they need to grab, but bless them for putting their hand in it. I don't know what you're going to get or will come out, but you want to be safe and you want to make it easier. But, you know, about me is that whenever I'm going to pay for something, it's like I want to be able to take my wallet out 1, 2, 3. I just want to do this. I just want to make it easy. If I'm going to spend a day and maybe I'm going to go traveling and be outdoors, I might want a simple crossbody that is not too heavy on my shoulders so I don't get a backache, but I want it to be organized. I want to be able to fit my phone in there. How funny is this? But a lot of designers make these bags that don't fit your phone, or you fit your phone and then you can't fit your keys. You know, you can't fit a lipstick. You're like, I can't even fit my sunglasses in there. What's the purpose of me spending $200 on that bag? So think about what bags do you really need for this season? Because if you're going to networking conferences, if you're traveling a lot, you might want to look at those big tote bags and think about, what do I need to carry? Do I need to carry my water? Do I need to carry snacks? Do I need to carry my phone or my laptop? And what are you going to put that in so that it's easy and organized and it doesn't feel heavy? Some bags will definitely feel very, very heavy. That's very important. So pick a color scheme, pick the texture and the style, and look at your handbags for the season. Number 6, we're going to go back to my favorite rule. I've given this rule all the time. Discard 3 items for 9 days. Now I know we're still here in winter, so let me tell you one tip. If you wanted to do something like the Real or Thread Up, you want to do the clean out now because you're still in winter. Any type of resale or consignment want things that are in season. So you don't really want to clean out something at the end of a season because those companies don't want that stuff. They want the stuff that's in season, that will be going for the next season. So be very mindful of that. So you could do it in the morning, you could do it in the evening, but go through your closet and start thinking, what no longer, goes back to number 1, honors the person that I'm going to become this spring. Because the person you're going to become this spring is also going to set the tone for the person you'll be in summer and fall. So by the time winter comes around next year, these are no longer going to serve you. So energetically, they're no longer honoring the person you are becoming. So discard 3 items for 9 days, which is 27 items. How simple is that? All right, let's say skincare products and makeup products. Something you should be doing on a continual basis is reviewing your skincare and makeup, because as spring starts to come, you're going to want to think about, should I go out and buy my heavy moisturizer again, because in a couple of months it will start to change. You might think about that and think about, when spring comes, I have to lighten up my textures. I know I'm going to go to the dermatologist and I know she's going to probably go back on another formula. So right about now is the time to think about, you don't want to waste money on buying products where you think you might not get much longer use out of them. A quick note, if you buy something that you don't love, like let's say moisturizer, and you don't love it, quick thing to do, use it on your hands, on your body. You don't have to throw it away. If it didn't work on your face, just use it as a hand cream. Use it on your body. Very simple to do. Number 8. So let's get talking about how do we allow ourselves to have the things that we want. And that's really simple. Create the right financial plan. And the one thing that you can do is each season, as opposed to trying to buy things sometimes by paycheck or limited, like say just having $200, it can feel very frustrating. But if you learn to figure out, by the spring, I would like to have an extra $2,000 to go out and to buy my new pieces, okay? Put money aside. When you put money aside and you do it on a weekly basis and call it your fashion fund, your beauty fund, you can have the things that you want. Other ways that you can do this is by doing something called Rent the Runway. Rent the Runway gives you an option to create a subscription plan that may be $100 a month. They have 3 different plans, and their prices change at times, so I don't want to be committed to one number to tell you guys. It might change. But for, say, the highest level, I think you can get 10 pieces. So what happens is, I believe it works that you can take out 5 pieces for the month, right? Maybe wear them for 2 weeks. And you can either send back all those 5 pieces to get an additional 5 pieces, or maybe there's a couple pieces you like, so you send back 3 pieces, and then you can get another 3 pieces. And the idea is that maybe you don't have the big budget at this time, but you can have a lot of different pieces, and you've only spent $100. The other thing is going onto your favorite website, sign up, because many brands will easily give you a discount for signing up or start sending you emails, which can be a little annoying, but if it's a brand that you love, it's well worth it to know what's going on sale. Other things, look at your credit cards. Always check your credit cards before you go, because many credit cards have things like, if you shop at Saks and you spend $250, you can get $50 off. So there are so many ways that we don't think about, and I know there's even more ways that we don't realize that when it comes to shopping, we can have a more abundant shopping trip when we recognize that there's all ways of abundance coming to our lives. So make a fashion fund, put money aside each month, check out your brand, go to their website, sign up. Sometimes they have rewards for being part of their membership. Other times they'll start sending you special promotions. Check your credit cards. Make sure. They may tell you, hey, if you shop at Saks, if you shop at White House Black Market, if you shop at Gemini, they have this, you'll get 50 points, or you'll get that points off too. I love it, Diana, you have a fun money account. Exactly. And it makes a difference, right? It makes a difference when you feel like, I've got money set aside, I'm not depriving myself, I can spend on this. If you're an entrepreneur who does special events, like you host a launch, I know a lot of women do this, they host launches, and then at the end of that launch, they'll take a percentage of whatever they made and give themselves a bonus and maybe go out and buy those Chanel shoes or buy those Gucci shoes. They'll treat themselves to something because they felt like it was an accomplishment. So there's all ways to get creative. Just, you have to have the abundant mindset, and you have to leave the price off and not worry about the price, but talk about what it is you love, why you love it, and then the more you do, the more it comes to you. Yes, 10% goes into the fun money, a treat for myself. I love it, Diana. I love it. Okay, so All right, so tip number 9 to conclude. Again, if you want to get the sheet, my little sheet with all the 9 tips, just send me a DM and I will gladly send this copy to you. But this was a lot of tips that I talked about. And because it was in honor of the Chinese New Year and the significance of the auspicious number 9, I wanted to have a little bit of fun and share these insights for you. You don't have to do everything. Rather, I would love you to do 1 or 3, but think about these things and think about why it's so important to start planning your wardrobe now. The benefits that you will have if you take the time, which it's February, it's still kind of quiet. Things are calm. I go out, the roads are pretty dead. People are not in the stores. There's not a lot of stuff going on. But I know kind of at the end of March, you go into the holiday of Easter, we've got April, May, and June. You've got weddings coming up, you've got graduations, you've got like confirmations and communions and all these types of things that start coming up, and it gets overwhelming. But if you plan and get the right pieces in your wardrobe now, you won't feel overwhelmed, you won't feel like you don't have any money, because everything is sort of prepared. My goal is getting a closet full of things that feel good to you, so that every morning when you're opening up the closet doors, energetically, you feel lifted. Because if you open your closet doors, we'll go back to a little feng shui, and every morning it's like, and you're frustrated, and you're feeling angry, well, guess what? Energetically, what happens is you repeat that energy and you dump it right into that spot right in front of your closet. So your closet no longer feels fun because energetically it has built up almost like residue, right? Like residue, like dirt. It has built up this energy of, I can't stand my wardrobe. I can't stand what's in here. But you want to cleanse that energy. And so you want to open the door and you want to say, hey, I've got an outfit for this event. I've got an outfit for that event. This is going to look good. I'm going to wear my shoes. I'm going to wear those shoes. And you're going to feel energized. You're going to feel totally different. So, do we have any questions? Let's see. I like removing 3 items for 9 days. Yes, Cindy, I love that. Award ceremonies, true. That comes up too. I love getting dressed for the day. I love that. I love that. I love that. Do we have any questions? Any questions? Well, I hope you are inspired. I hope this feels good. Not to overwhelm you. Happy Chinese New Year too, Diana. I hope this just inspires you. And just to clarify one more time, it's not about doing all 9 things, but rather saying, out of all those 9 things, where is one thing that I can do today? And if it's just scrolling on your phone and making an album of all the favorite things that you love, then that's powerful enough, because whatever we give our attention to is what we're going to want to manifest. So enjoy your Saturday afternoon or evening, wherever you are, and thank you for taking the time to celebrate it with me. If you have any further questions, send me a DM or send me a DM to get the tip sheet. Thank you so much for joining my live, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye.